Playday number 5 at the Masters Clash. Infernal Shrines, our first map between the Donuts and Team Arthas, everybody. So, let's go. We got a sub player today for the Donuts. Apparently, they were unable to reach Skok. They talked about this during the lobby, and they now play with a sub. I don't really know if they have to play with him for the entire Best of 5 series, or if at some point Skok is going to appear and they can swap it in again for map 2, 3, 4, or whatnot. But anyways, it's of course a little bit of a setback. Very similar to what happened last week to them, because the Donuts went up against 30k. And, well, let's just say that that series did not really go as anticipated. We all expected like a battle between two teams, maybe the Donuts being dominant. Instead, 30k showed up, swapped Zelia in as a sub for the weekend, and they just destroyed the Donuts. So it was crazy. It was honestly crazy. It was a massive setback for the Donuts, who are still second place in the standings. But of course, that was not really what they were hoping for, because now the Hardos have taken over the pole position in the ranking. Anyways, we got for the team in red currently, they banned out Stukov. They are 6th place in the standings, by the way. So Team Arthas didn't really have the season that they wanted either. Obviously, they have a little bit of a grudge match situation against Team Soundless and would have hoped to stay ahead of them, which didn't really work out. But you can still claw your way back. As I mentioned before, we are currently on the 5th Playday of the Masters Clash. In total, we're going to have 14. So we're going to have the teams play against each other twice during the regular season before we're heading into the playoffs. And then afterwards, of course, the potential offline final in France. But for our first map over here, Uther as a first pick. Lauber locks it in quickly. And yeah, let's see what they can pull off here. Because right now, if you are in the shoes of the Donuts, you gotta really make a you gotta make a statement. You got your ass kicked on the last Playday. You have to come in and say like, all right, guys, let's go, and just simply take Team Arthas down. Arthas is still building the temple, and now that Medivh is also banned out, here comes Sonya as an early pick on Infernal Shrines. We've seen her tons, and Skilla is playing a Lucio on the first map again. Yeah, they kind of need a couple of map wins. I mean, as I keep on saying, it's not always about winning the series. If you go up against a tough opponent, of course you want to win the match. But if you can't, just locking in a map victory or two, even if you got to be a little bit cheesy, helps a lot at the end of the season, because we are bound to have teams that have the exact same match score, and then the map score is going to become incredibly important. Vala, very early pick into her, so she's been played in the past, of course, a lot on Infernal Shrines, because a multi-shot setup is really, really good, not only to take down an isolated target, after you have Manticore in particular, but also to, you can just like carpet the shrine, and you're always bound to get value. You get value against the objective, you get value against the opponent's team. And let's not forget that the Donuts are actually one of the teams that have played multiple times with some pretty interesting setups. I mean, they're not really afraid to just break the meta a bit and go for different styles. They played a triple support, for example, on Battlefield of Eternity, and did fairly well with that. And, well, here comes the ban on Zarya, and also Anubura gets banned. So they want to make sure that Cocoon is not going to screw their combos up. Alright, that makes sense as well. And as it stands, the double pick for the red team is definitely going to tell where we're going from here. Because you can really think about how do we break this now. And in the past, we've seen a lot of like sniper compositions with the Nubarak band. You can still, of course, go for others. They're actually controlling space with Megan. That's something that Team Arthas has already played a lot. We get Hans on top of that too. But you have to break that Vala. And a double support is going to keep her alive. And of course, this becomes a question if Uther goes for the Divine Shield, which we've dominantly seen. But given the fact that you will have a lot of close quarter team fights, you could also go into the Divine Storm. Hogger comes in, and Maiev! Alright, Maiev gets played as well. And with that, we're looking at a lot of control here. And Infernal Shrines, our last pick, the Heroes of the Storm series, is going to kick off here in just a moment in our best of 5 at the Masters Clash. And what is Morena's going to play for the team now? This is definitely an interesting series. Especially now that we have a sub-player. Still a question if Skog is going to come back for game number 2 or not. But here we go. Last pick, Ragnaros! Alright, yeah, Ragnaros is seeing more and more play. He's always a late pick. He's never really one that you YOLO out first, but he is becoming more and more of an alternative and has been played by multiple teams now. I mean, 4 or 5 out of the 8 teams have played Ragnaros during the Masters Clash. So either way, Infernal Shrines kicks us off with our Heroes of the Storm best of 5. Let's jump straight in, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 on the left side, Rutsu on Maiev after the teams swapped heroes around a little bit. We got Ixir on Anna, Kopenhagen on Hogga, Lauber on Uther, and Siseka on Vala. The sub player for the team with Stork for Team Arthas playing Sonya. We got Denado on Mei, Morenas on Ragnaros, Bishops on Hanzo, and Skilla is playing Lucio. Okay. Let's get game number 1 going. Once again, it's the Engulfing Flame on level 1. If you watch any other team than Ending for Ruby, the build on Ragnaros is more or less set. So that's kind of what you want to go for. But either way, we got on level 1 on the Prowl. Also the Hot Pursuit, of course, for Vala. The multi-shot build is already starting with all of that. And a bit of a skirmish here in the middle of the map, as the teams are just hoping to maybe get a quick kill. Now, we don't really have that main tank for the Donuts, but of course Uther serves as such, which we've talked about a lot in the past. That's one of the things to really pay a bit of attention to too, because it gives you a lot of sustain and also the additional stun. The name of the game is to keep Vala alive. There's a lot of CC with Rutsu. I mean, let's not forget about Ixia Sleep Darts too. That's another big tool in the tool belt they can use for this. But, yep, top side is our 1 versus 1, and now that we are 50 seconds in a few more, we will see the first camps appear on the map, and then it's time to see which team is gonna walk away with 2 out of the 3 camps, or even a little bit more. Anyways, as it stands, we got Rutsu with a quick tether. Nice, Sleep Dart follow-up, the trade, that might not be enough. Denardo goes down. Beautiful kill. Well done by the Donuts. They're opening this up with a bit of a bang. Good setup here from Vala, and even with the trade, they couldn't do anything about it. And now they even get Hogga up at the top. I gotta say, that's an opening. That's really an opening. And of course, the Donuts, they have something to prove here. They lost to 30k, and they got demolished. That was quite unexpected. I mean, the fact alone that 30k won the series, that, you know, it's one thing to win the series, but within the top 3 to see one team just absolutely stomp the other and make it look like a quick match, that was a bit crazy. So now the Donuts, they definitely got something to prove. Because the entire time until that happened, we were pretty much just looking at this and saying like, hey, Hardos and Donuts, they both have the exact same track record. They didn't lose a single map yet. And that kind of led to a bit of an anticipation of a match, of a huge showdown between the 2 teams. Yeah, and then the match against 30k happened, and all of a sudden everything turned. But now the Donuts, they're coming in again, and they are starting to take quite a few kills. And because now we also have Lucio eliminated, so that's 2 kills against 1 in total. Camps are now back up at top left and top right gets focused. Both of the teams are making the play for the Shaman camp. And Uther is still pushing out the bot lane a little bit. So, yeah, trying to go for that. Morenas gets attacked here. We got now with the first shrine activating in 20 seconds. Already Stork going for the early camp pick. I guess the blue team is going to wait this out a bit. They're going to try and defend first before they're going to do anything else. But, well, bottom of the map. There they rotate towards the mid lane in an attempt to take at least the camp here down. But at the top, nobody is really dealing with Sonya just yet. So it's camp against camp. The blue team timed it so that their own camp will defend with the help of the towers. That's pretty much the game plan here. They still might lose some of the structures. Nice tether. Follow up on that one too. Rutsu gets attacked. Hogga's trying to block the path as well. And they take a pretty significant lead on the objective. Especially, of course, with Vala carpeting everything with a multi-shot setup. That works quite nicely. Ragnaros with his trade, so meaning they're trying to go for the Punisher, and they are not trying to defend with Ragnaros. Yeah, but they are starting to come in for that very, very quickly here. There's a little bit more damage coming in. And hello, team Denado! And there's another kill. Nice! Alright, 1 down right here. 3 kills to 1. Top side gets attacked now as well. And Stork is slowly moving away. Down here at the same time though, we got Rutsu and Morena still doing their thing. Middle of the map. Yeah, they're pushing heavily through this. Level 7 talents are already for both of the teams, but you can already tell that that mid lane push is going to be a big problem because the Donuts are pushing with everything they have and they already broke through the wall. The fort is taking damage. I don't think they can take the entire thing down, but either way, this is hurting. This is a lot of damage with the first objective alone, especially since Hogga isn't even here. He's still holding on to the top side experience, so they did a lot. That fort is up for grabs whenever they want it. Whenever they want that fort, they can push for it and take it down. Now at the same time, what else are they gonna get here? We got the push straight up through the bot lane now with another camp. Hogga and Sonya are the two missing. Hogga could technically also try and rotate down to the bottom of the map. He would give up some experience at the top, but it could help them to push some additional structures down. Highly unlikely that they're gonna go for that play, but technically it's at least an option. Instead they're going for Ragnaros here. Morena's good damage. They're trying to go for Vala, and the double support is not enough to keep her alive. Yeah, Uther gets now also attacked, and Lauber is about to fall too, unless that sleep dart saves his ass. Problem is that Rutsu, oh my god, Rutsu still dishing the damage out, but it's just too much. Ragnaros comes in and they get the kill against her. Nicely done. Ixia also gets a bit isolated, and all of a sudden Team Arthas is coming back with a vengeance in this one. Yeah, it's 4 kills against 3. They've taken the lead in kills and in experience, heading towards the early level 10. Now the fort in the middle falls, but that one still hurt. Copenhagen is at the top and is going to do his thing here. I have no idea why Stork is that deep, but it's not really a problem since Lucio is helping him out. Situation still hasn't changed though. It's currently the red team that has the advantage. And nicely done. Good for them. So Sulfuras is in. We got the ice wall also set up. And of course the high five for Lucio. Yeah, with a divine shield for Uther. The cage is up for Maiev. There's the next one. Level 10 abilities on both sides now. And leap for Sonya. Sonya's gonna come with the big leap. Gonna try to use that. Then you have the you have a lot of stuns on the ults. First of all, you have the ice wall to set it up. You got leap, you got Hanzo's arrow, and you got the Sulfuras. Technically they can really just murder anybody on the other side with a quick jump. The only thing that can ruin that very easily is the divine shield though. Lauber has potentially a setup where he can ruin all of this. Yeah, there's the arrow, missing completely. And didn't even have to go for the divine shield. They simply dodged out on the arrow. Sulfuras never came out. There's the leap on Ana, and bam, she's dead. No chance for her. Very easily taken down. Okay, so with that, another kill. Oh, the Sulfuras did damage, but not enough. It's a kill against Lucio and Hanzo, and Mei dies as well. That was a 5 versus 4, by the way. That's a 5 versus 4. And Vala survives and turns around with another kill. 5-man team wipe, baby. Oh, Vala surviving with how many hit points? Like 19, 16, something like that? That was sick city. Especially, of course, Hogga, Shockwave, everything. Boy, haha, they turned that one. 8 kills to 6. And that was pretty nuts. Because now, of course, the tides have changed again. We have the Donuts in the lead, and they also have a talent advantage in just another moment. They're level ahead by now. Hogga's at the bottom of the map, applying even more pressure to the lanes, but boy, that hurt. That one hurt. It's like, holy hell. And of course, you look over to Maiev, and she's at 21,000 damage. It's not even Vala that leads the damage numbers here. Maiev is just crushing. Rutsu's Maiev has been banned out multiple times in the past, and you can definitely see why. Problem is that that guy is so good on multiple heroes that it's really hard to just ban his hero pool out, and he's not the only talented player on that team, so one problem after another that they're facing. Now 8 kills to 6, coming in again, and bam! Straight to the face. A quick spin, and Copenhagen drops Lucio, and the strafe takes down Sonya together with Maiev chipping in the last bit of damage to drop the side laner. So nicely done, and the Donuts are taking a mad amount of momentum again to snowball that top lane, especially since they're now aiming for another Punisher, which they will definitely get. Level 13 talents are at least in on both sides. And it's kind of a bit weird because Team Arthas, with the lineup and the heroic abilities that they took, they want to be the team that makes the play, right? They want to be the team that initiates and makes the move, and that just didn't happen. They made a good kill happen against Anna, but outside of that, it's a bit tricky for them. Now, since the Shaman camp is now coming in, and so is the Punisher, that top fort is lost. There's no denying that. At the bottom of the map, Morenas is still pushing this out a bit. They're hoping for a rotation of Copenhagen straight to the middle so that they can drop him with the remaining heroes that were setting up a trap. That doesn't really happen. Instead, the fort is down, and now they have to defend the keep wall. But that allows the blue team to move into the middle and potentially also take a couple of these camps again. Yeah, on the left side, we got Copenhagen already moving straight up for that. 10 kills to 6, and of course, there's still a fort at the bottom of the map that you can also start to damage. So, yeah, easy peasy. Half a level to 16, and the lead is already there. Oh, the wall catches 2, though. Wall catches 2. Arrow also connecting. And, well, they are still alive. Big leap into the back line. The Divine Shield on Anna is saving her. And here comes the cages. Rutsu with Maiev is making the plays again and drops Sonya. Sonya is down. And they are going for another potential kill against Lucio, but he gets away. But yeah, Rutsu again just crushing and saving the day for the rest of the team. And Lauba also not hesitating to drop the Divine Shield on Anna, since he knows she is going to be the prime target for the Russian-Ukrainian team. 11 kills to 6. Bottom fort will fall, and they're still moving into the middle with another tether, but Morenas is able to get away this time. Now, of course, we have Manticore in, and that allows Vala to do so much more damage now. She's still not top damage on the blue team, on the other hand. It's still Maiev. Yeah, Maiev is just so super awesome here. And yeah, they are trying to chase Hogger at the top. Copenhagen is already on the run, and he pokes away. Do we see the leap? Yes! He might still be able to survive. Nah, maybe not. Oh, they dropped everything they had on him. 2 ults. But of course, at the bottom of the map, the push still continues. Yeah, it's Rutsu that rotates towards the top, but that was a massive, massive engage by Team Arthas for that one kill. It gave them a bit of experience too. And Maiev is still moving out here. The wall, Vault of the Wardens to dodge out on it. And there's no leap up this time, but the spear connects, and that is the end of Rutsu. Rutsu's down. That's a kill. Now, that kill comes at a cost, because at the bottom of the map, the wall falls. And that, of course, hurts. Now the keep is exposed and is open. Still, that staggered death did definitely not help. But we have Hogger at least back on the map, and another 30 seconds for Maiev. It's still a 1.5, 1 level lead. 1 level lead, let's not be too generous here. Okay, Arrow connects. Do we get... No. Sonya isn't here, can't leap. Sulfuras wasn't ready yet either. So they can't do anything with it. But yeah. Up at the top, Copenhagen is still holding on to it. And let's not forget that this is actually... This would be the first fort that Team Arthas takes down if they can destroy it. So far they haven't taken a single structure down, a single main structure. Whereas Team Arthas themselves have now lost every single fort on the map and have also taken damage on some of their keeps. So, to make matters even worse here. But as it stands, Lauba and Sieska are ready. There's the next camp that comes up, and Team Arthas, in good old Team Arthas fashion, is going as aggressive as they possibly can. Rutsu gets found out. Spear misses. The nerves of steel on this guy. Yeah, is looking for the tether. Waltz out. Dodges out on the wall. But that might be a Divine Shield that they could possibly have to drop here. Alright. There's already the setup, and they're making a play for Denado, who slides out and gets away. The big leap, and Vala is down. The meatball comes into, and there's the arrow. Oh my god, they are going for the big plays at this point, exploiting the choke point situation perfectly. I mean, check this one out. They go for Vala first pretty much here, and yeah, it's just like leaps, sulfuras, everything that they have, they just drop it, and they are able to get the kill, not only against Vala, also against Hogger. And they nearly got a kill against Uther too. But then again, Ana now dies. They are chasing them. Jesus. That game back and forth all of a sudden. It looked for a long time as if the blue team might just have enough momentum. But now they just keep feeding into Team Arthas. It's honestly a little bit weird. They're currently outnumbered continuously, but they're still making these plays in an attempt to get a sneaky kill. And it doesn't work, and that just ends up with another death, like in this case on Ana. So for another 30 seconds, they're going to be at a numbers disadvantage. It's 11 kills to 11 now. 18 versus 18. So this entire gap, this entire lead that we had for the blue team is kind of gone. Now, camp has been stolen away. It's not going to be too much of a problem because the tower focuses directly onto the shaman. Copenhagen is trying to hold the top. In the middle, they're making a play for the next fort. And the experience lead is, of course, still there for the Donuts. But I gotta say that Team Arthas all of a sudden has a chance to not only bring this back, but maybe even win this entire thing. And that is a bit terrifying considering how far ahead the Donuts were. And they more or less screwed it up themselves. Now, they can play aggressive, and they did it in the past, but it's usually more so the trademark of Team Arthas to make a play like that. I mean, either way, here comes the setup now. 11 to 11, 19 and a half. Yeah, bottom of the map, someone definitely needs to deal with this. Since the wall is open, the keep would be attacked directly, and you can't really afford that. So, yeah, Xia is already sitting tight here, and they're starting to rotate over to the camp because they know that someone has to defend the bottom of the map, so they can steal this away. They know that they have more than enough time, so they easily snipe this one. That's kind of a neat move. You steal the opponent's camp away, not really a big problem here for you. Yeah, good for them. Alright, so with that we got Vala coming in, going straight up for the Farflight Quiver here. And that's of course where the real beauty of Vala's auto attack setup with the level 16 is coming through. Because now she can start to drop the damage hit after hit from a safe distance. And then she has a double support behind them too. That's a huge deal. But that's a nice catch on Maiev. And she's still able to make it out. No leap yet though. Arrow missing completely. And he has to leap into the backline. Uther! Oh, he's alive! And they take Sonya down. And they get a kill against Ragnaros too. Wow. What a fight again. Check this out, the nano boost on Uther. They were trying to go for him and instead he survives. They turn it against Sonya and then they get the easy double kill on Ragnaros. And the top lane, the keep is gone. Guys, they can go for the core here. The catapult and the camp already took the keep down, so now they can make a play for the core. It's only 3 defenders that they got to deal with, but Jesus, Uther was so close to dying. It was really the nano boost of Ana that helped him to get the extra heal out, and then they were able to just get 1 kill, 2 kills. Can they get the kill over here now too? Yes, they can. Hanzo is dead. They might have to fall back though. They got a double support. But, well, they have another 10 seconds. They're definitely going to do damage, and they want to go for all the marbles now. They're moving in. The Donuts, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1. What a continuous back and forth, but it's looking good for them. Sonya could leap, and she does. Connects with 3. Connects with 3. They might just defend. 1 kill. Yeah. 3 kills. They might even get more. They go for Ixia, and Ana has no chance getting out of this one. And look into the middle. Oh, it's not over yet. Uther's back with his redemption. He dies. Divine Shield is out. And they're going to lose the next. Rutsu. What is happening here? 5-man team wipe. Ana dies, but look at the middle. First of all, check out how this all happened. It was the leap of Sonya that you can see here that changed it all. Sonya's leap allowed them to get the 5-man wipe, and Sonya is already in the mid lane taking the keep down. They're losing it right here. Stork with a big leap as he respawns saves his team the day, and they are coming in for victory on map number 1, everybody. Nicely done. Wow, what a turnaround here towards the end. Total IGN moment, 6.5 out of 10. Would come back again. They're trying to go for another one, but yeah, they can take that core down easy peasy. Should probably not meme around too much or they're gonna get killed, but yeah, in this case, it's already too low and that is game. Team Arthas with the lead against the Donuts, everybody. Nicely done. A well-deserved victory on Infernal Shrines.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Team Arthas, ladies and gentlemen, in the lead against the Donuts. Yep, it was all Stork's leap towards the end that, bam, turned the entire thing around. He hit 3 targets with that leap, and that allowed them to defend the core. 5-man wipe the Donuts, and then, well, the rest is history. They crossed the map and they ended it. So, nicely done. Now that we're on Dragonshire, we got the immediate ban on Medivh again. But I still can't shake it. I mean, honestly, you look at this. Skog is back, by the way. Skog is back. So I don't know what exactly happened that he missed game number 1, but he's back. So they don't have to play game number 2 with the sub-player anymore. They are currently playing with their normal lineup. And they insta-pick also Rexa here on Dragonshire. But the thing that I still can't shake is that on the last map, they had so many opportunities, I think. I mean, first of all, I really feel that if on the last play they don't stack up, I don't think they realized that Sonya was about to respawn and that she had leap ready, or they would have tried to spread out a little bit more. If they do that, they win the game very likely. It was not a lot of hit points left on the core. It was at 40% already. But even before that, there were multiple moments where it just felt like the Donuts were massively ahead, and all of a sudden they started to just like feed into the opponent time and time again. Staggered deaths just gave an opportunity to Team Arthas to come back. So I think that loss was a bit of their own making. Now we got Lucio in. Ixia zipping around on that bad boy is annoying as hell. And we got Sonya. Dragonshire obviously changes the rules a little bit, and especially when we're talking about the top lane, Rexa is now in a really, really solid situation here. But in comes the ban on Tychus, and with the Nubarak already banned out, it's Diablo, so they're targeting the front line a little bit. That map win is already worth a lot, by the way, for Team Arthas. And I know I'm a little bit of a broken record when it comes to map victories, but the one reason why I always highlight how important individual map wins are is because so many teams, even in the times of HGC, and viewers in particular, never really understood how much a map win, especially against a strong team, means. And even if you can't win the entire series, it is just crazy. And when the time when everybody realized how important they were at the end of the season, when all of a sudden everybody was like, well, if they take one map here and these guys drop a map over there, then this and this happens. And you can avoid all of that crap by just simply fighting for every single map, even if you feel you cannot win the entire series. But yeah, anyways, now that we got Brightwing in and also Hogger, let's see what we're going to get as our last pick for Denado. But I mean, first of all, we have, of course, the blue team locking in their final picks. And it is Jimmy plus Mei. Okay, so there's a lot of control. It's a triple front line. Jimmy's the only damage dealer. With the slows that we have, I would say Ace in the hole is what we're going to get here. And yeah, with now Denado as the last pick, they go for Varian. Alright, not your typical Varian composition that we got. But still is going to give them control. Yeah, that's going to be a bit interesting. It's not the typical Varian setup. I guess Varian into Cassia Valkyrie is what they're looking for. That could definitely help. Anyways, Heroes of the Storm series continues, guys. We got a lead for Team Arthas. It's the best of 5. 5th Playday of the Master Clash. Let's go straight into Dragonshire. The Donuts against Team Arthas. The Pastry Boys on the left side with Lauber on Mei, Copenhagen on Sonya. Skog back to business, as expected with the ace in the hole, is playing Jimmy. We got Rutsu on Rexa and Ixia on Lucio. On the right side of the map, Skill on Brightwing, Denado on Varian. We got Morenas on Hogger. We currently got Bishops on Cassia. And Stork on Diva. So, the interesting part is really what are they going to do with Varian. Personally, I think it's going to be Varian taunt into Valkyrie. That's probably what they're going to try and do here. But yeah, time will tell if that's actually the play. And of course, Cassia is going to try and get the stacking going so that they can make a little bit of work here. Well, at this point, we also have the heat transfer on level 1. We got the journeyman on level 1 for Hogger. And, well, off we go. Sonya's already up at the top and is rotating around a little bit here too. Everybody is, of course, hoping to catch somebody on that like, direct rotation. It's one of the most impactful things in Heroes of the Storm. If you can set up traps and your opponent goes for, let's say, an aggressive rotation like this, and you just like set a trap up here, you can easily jump in and try and take them down here. We've seen that multiple times in the past. The Khaldor set traps up like this all the time. Here, it doesn't really work out, but still... it forces opponents, once you start doing that, it forces opponents to waste a bit more time on a lane rotation and just take the safer path a little bit farther out. Stacks are slowly coming together already for our Cassia player. We got the camps back up on the map now that the 1 minute mark is in, and they are actually getting really aggressive over on the right side of the map, buying a little bit of time for Rexa and for Jimmy also, who are taking the camps at the bottom of the map. But at the end of the day, they're losing out on this one. So it doesn't really do a whole lot for them. It forces the red team to react a bit to all of this. But essentially, it's not really worth it in the sense that they, of course, used time to do that. And all they got was their own siege giant camp at the bottom of the map. They couldn't go for their camp at the left side, top left, and try and take that. Rexa, now at the bottom of the map this time. And yeah, this is, of course, the map where you also have the camps up. So normally Rexa finds themselves at the top, but since they are running with Rexa plus Sonya, they can do that. Behemoth armor is now also in for Jimmy, so it's going to get a bit more on that. And they're going to get socked. Nice control! Lauber with Mei, all the CC that she brings to the table already put to some good use. There's also some additional stacks, of course, for Jimmy himself, for the Behemoth armor. And down here, Bishops is stacking against Misha. Yep. Can stack against Misha quite easily, but the Dragonite has been taken in the middle. Misha not even dying. 16... ah, well. 16 hit points, but apparently Cassia was able to connect another Lightning Fury. Either way, with Misha sacrificing herself on the bottom shrine, it allowed the blue team to go for the Dragonite, and that's a very early objective. Now, naturally, this bad boy is not going to do too much, because it's still very early in the game, and it's not really that strong yet. It's going to scale later, but opening the wall up at the top and forcing a rotation for the defense is already strong, and that kick was great, because now Morenas is in trouble, and he's going to die, one way or another. Only question is, do they get a counter kill? But with the Dragonite, yes, there it is. Easily taken. Well done. Yeah, great job. So that also, by the way, leaves the top lane completely up to Rutsu, who is currently taking not only experience and helping them with a big lead, but also pushing the structures down. They nearly take the fort at the top. This is a great lead for the Donuts. It's only a matter of time until they throw the game again. No, either way. If they continue the momentum like this, then, of course, they are going to snowball that heavily. But it reminds me a bit of the early and mid-game of map number 1, where they were heavily ahead, and then all of a sudden, they just started to kind of throw a little bit. As it stands now, we're looking at 4 minutes into the game. We had the first objective already locked in by the blue team. We have them with a fort destroyed on the other side. They have a lead in experience, had an early talent, and yeah, I mean... you couldn't wish for a better early game, pretty much, right? It's pretty much the early game that you're looking for. So, what does Team Arthas do? They do what they do best. They are aggressive and they're trying to go for some kills. And they're gonna get them! Sonya is down. They steal the camp away. Fucking Team Arthas. That's why we love these guys. This is exactly why we love them. Team Arthas, the Russians just in general, the Russians and the Ukrainians, they're just absolutely nuts. All of them are insane. Honestly, these guys are just aggressive all the time. It was beautiful during the Nations Cup when we had the Russian team just going for these moves time and time again. And it's also fantastic when we were looking at Team Arthas or Team Soundless. They just like aggressive moves, and oftentimes they pay off. And that's a perfect example. They stole the camp away, they got a kill, and now they turned it around, and the Donuts are the ones that are under pressure. Then again, Brightwing dies, and that just shows that the Donuts are not that easily impressed. But here we go. Bishops is taken down again, and they lost another 2, plus Diva died. Yeah. But I mean, O-Tone, when I talk to them about it, what I get as a response is usually, Khaldor, don't worry about it. It's okay. We lose early game, couple kills, doesn't matter. We drink a bit of vodka, we relax, and in the late game, we get kills and we win game. Easy. Good leap and game over. Bit of vodka, no problem. So yeah. That was a bit of an excerpt of the interview that I had with Stock just the other day about the playstyle. But anyways, they know how to just get kills even if they're a bit behind. The problem is that they're losing objectives now, and they're losing way too many. This is the second Dragonite that got now taken, and that means we're gonna have way more fall in the middle of the map. So yeah, I don't know. Level 10 plus a Dragonite, 1.5 level lead. That might be a bit too much to handle, so I don't know. Team Arthas, they're great at coming back, getting these kills, and somehow always start a comeback, but I'm not quite sure if it's going to work over here. So, yeah, right now, they're going at least, they're taunt on Misha. Yeah, I mean, again, she's the biggest threat here. They try to get their level 10, and they get it too. A bit of an ass kicking against Cassia in the middle of the map, as Sonya is trying to take the fort down, successfully, I might add. Stalk is at the top and is doing his thing. And at the bottom of the map, yeah, well, a bit of damage has been done, but the main problem was, of course, the mid lane, where the fort has been, yeah, annihilated pretty quickly. I mean, anyways, 50 stacks, that's a big one, of course. If Cassia can scale a bit harder into the late game, then she might just be the one to bring the game back for them. And she's been stacking against Misha over and over. Oh, the wall! Yeah, that wall was pretty awesome. But here, there comes the kill against D.Va, so she's down. Can they get a kill? Copenhagen, and he's dead. They go for the camp again, but this time they won't be able to snack it up. Instead, Morenas is about to fall, and Brightwing already died. Uh-oh, Denado. Oh, that's 4 kills for 1. Ah. The blue team, everybody. Absolutely nuts. They are just going for it. Yeah, that was... I mean, anyways, Roots is already sitting here. It's down at the bottom of the map. Lauber, Ixia already sitting tight again. We're still waiting for Varian to come back. Varian is still at the Nexus, testing out his new voice lines that he's going to use to taunt people. I mean, we already, of course, went over a couple of those, but... Yep. Let's see what he can do now. I want to see Varian taunt Misha again. You're just a big hamster. Oh my god. Anyways, now there's only one fort left. Like, does this remind you of something? Didn't we have the insane situation on the last map where all of a sudden the red team didn't have a single fort left, the entire outer ring of defense was gone, and then they just won a big fight over one mercenary camp and they started to go for a comeback? It's similar this time. I just don't know if they can come back this time, especially since they're continuing to lose players. Bishops gets isolated and gets dropped here too, so that's not only the damage healer gone, but it also makes sure that Cassia, at least for a while, doesn't have a chance to get additional stacks together. So now they can go for the wall, they can drop that quickly. And just with every single step that they are dealing here, they are getting better and better at establishing that lead. They are not only... guys, they're 2 levels ahead. They have a talent lead right now that is soon going to be negated by the level 13 talent for Team Arthas. But they're so close on the level 16 again that that doesn't even matter. The gap between the two, the window, is just too small. So now top side, we got still Copenhagen getting even more XP for them. They're working on the next objective already. And it just feels more dominant by the Donuts than it did on the last map, I gotta say. Then again, after what we've seen on the first map, I don't really want to call it too early. So yeah, it's about level 16 now. And of course the next Dragonite, because now we're talking keep. 29,000 damage for Jimmy, the only range damage dealer on the blue team side is, as you would expect, the top damage dealer for now. Misha at the bottom, getting attacked again, trying to jump out. 30,000 now for Cassia. I mean, she's stacking. She's at 65 stacks or something along those lines. So she's getting good damage out. Over here, could go for the fight. Shockwave is up for Morenas, and D.Va is dead. They get the kill again. And they're isolating. They're isolating Denado. The Shockwave is in, but Lauber is already moving in with May on the side and is making sure that Cassia is zoned out. And thanks to Lucio, they can speed up, close the distance, and get the kill on her. So that's another one. And all of a sudden that bot lane keep is completely isolated. Up at the top there's another push coming. Sonya has already gone for the next shrine and she can go for the Dragon Knight. In the meantime, Hogger is dead. This is an absolute disaster now for Team Arthas. They won game number 1, but they are getting farmed here in game number 2. This is like 12 kills to 2. Sonya's just taken the Dragon Knight. In the meantime, the bottom keep is already falling. Top keep is also suffering damage with the double catapult that is chipping in. And before the Dragon Knight is even here, they already take the keep down. So they're going to go for the core one way or another. Now, make sure that you don't die this time, but there's also no Sonya on the other side, and they're getting more kills in. Another drop on Cassia and Brightwing. They get the double kill together with it. They're crushing. They're absolutely crushing this. I mean, brutal. Absolutely brutal. What a win here for the Donuts. They shut Team Arthas down completely. Nicely done by them. Hogger gets dropped at 16 kills to 2 now, and whew, Team Arthas goes down. The Donuts, they tie the series, and that's a victory in our Heroes of the Storm match for the blue team as we're heading into game number 3. Battlefield of Eternity, game number 3. Very different game number 2 from what we experienced on the first map. Donuts definitely with their full lineup now that Skog is back up to play here. They came out and they just dropped Team Arthas. I mean, that was a bit of a speed run that they executed there. Now we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. Map choice made by the Donuts as Team Arthas went for first pick, first ban. Loser has always the choice there. So we'll see what they can pull off, because right now we're looking at a setup in which the Donuts are probably going to try to do the exact same thing, snowball it early, and then just keep the game tight and controlled, which didn't really work out in game number 1 for them, because they were a bit too aggressive when they were down a hero or two, were trying to go for some quick and sneaky kills against someone. It didn't work out at all. Instead, they lost more heroes. Team Arthur started to get one staggered kill against another, and that eventually led to the Donuts being destroyed there. So now that we got our Uther ban out and also Sonya on Battlefield eliminated, let's see what we're going to get for the first picks. Now, of course, Liming is another hero to watch out for here. We've seen a lot of Grey mains on this map lately. Jimmy still with Exterminator is a really good pick. I mean, there's plenty. There's plenty. If you're talking about side laners, you could go for Malthael, which is also some additional damage output. Oftentimes we still see that Diva pick, even Rexa, of course. But we're starting things off with Lucio. Supports have been a bit more of a highlight recently. So, yep. And there's Vala again. Plus Ixia's Stukov. Okay. Yeah, Vala with an arrow build always kind of neat. She can chunk the Immortal down after, especially after she stacked her level 4 and she has her repeating arrow on level 7. She can, of course, with a quick combo, immediately drop the Immortal. It's an insane amount. The only thing that you have to be a bit careful with her is her mana pool at that point. If you make that play a little bit too often, then you're draining your mana very, very quickly. So, yeah. Now we got Stork with Urel for now, and Denardo is playing Varian. Still going to figure out what Morenas is going to play and what Bishops is going to lock in for himself. Hanzo and also Sylvanas are both still up, and those are heroes that we've seen quite a few times now from Bishops. So might even see a ban on one of the two. But instead it's Cassia that gets banned. Yeah, stacking on the last map was kind of crazy, but a part of it was also that they went up against Rexa. So you got Misha to get additional stacks through. And here comes the ban on Zarya. Zarya gets banned out, okay. And you got Rutsu. Again, Maiev, she has done a number on them in game number 1. And another hero that Rutsu really excels at is Zarya. And Zarya, together with the Vala composition on Battlefield of Eternity, is insanely powerful in that bot lane where you can play the 4-man. So, yeah, makes sense. What is Rutsu going to pick instead? That's the bigger question. He's going for my F. He's like, alright, you ban out my Zarya, but I don't care. I'm just going to go for my F again. We got Lauber's Malfurion. What? Lauber's Malfurion? Lauber these days is just playing... Oh, they could play the triple support again. They played triple support on this map. And on this map it works, because what your supports mostly lack is wave clear. And here you don't need a lot of wave clear. They played a triple support in the past and it worked incredibly well. So there's another chance for them to do that. With Lauber, Malfurion and Stukov already played by Ixia, there's a chance that Copenhagen is going to lock in 1-2. And well, as expected, told you, Sylvanas is getting picked. They're not going for Hanzo, they pick Sylvanas, they got Liming together with the 2. But are we going to get that triple support setup again that they played already once? They played it on Battlefield of Eternity. I explained back then that on this map it can actually work out, and they did well with it. Lauber has been playing, of course, with Uther already a fair bit, since Uther is like the main tank that an A played for a long time, and that also then translated over in Europe now. And there she is! Lily! It's a triple support again, everybody! Yep. They do it again. Battlefield of Eternity is a map where you gotta be careful when you go up against them. There's a lot of utility. Keep Vala alive. Keep Maiev alive. Lauber is now locking Maiev in, so they're swapping the heroes over. Again, making perfect sense here with Rutsu now the one being on Malfurion. I mean, could play it vice versa, but let's go. Triple support, everybody. Battlefield of Eternity. The Donuts with a triple support once again, and they're playing it off against Team Arthas. Let's go, everybody. Copenhagen on Stukov. We got Skork with the arrow build on Vala, Ixia on Lili, Rutsu, and Malfurion, and Lauber on the only real frontliner, the main tank Maiev, so to say. They played it before, and they won the game. So this is not the first time that we're seeing this combo from them on Battlefield of Eternity at the Masters Clash. On the right side of the map, Stork on Urel, Denard on Varian. We got Skilla on Lucio, Morenas on Liming, and Bishops is playing Sylvanas. This is really a comp that you can only play on this map and not on any other. You're just lacking the wave clear if you want to play it somewhere else. If your opponent locks in decent wave clear, they're going to outplay you on the macro. But since this map is so heavily focused on team fights, you can get away with this. They got one hero that can force the fights very nicely with Maiev. And of course, on top of that, you got not only a lot of sustain for Vala, you got utility through some blinds, through the silence. There's a lot of CC just in general, especially when you're also figuring in the roots of Malfurion. Once that he lays down the lawn, it is going to be pretty impactful for Vala and Maiev, who can then drop the target quite quickly. But either way, there's of course still a lot that you can do with Team Arthur, as they have to move in and get the damage connected. And well, they got a lineup that is packing a punch. After the taunt is getting dropped by Varian, you can easily step in and make sure that you have a good Liming combo set up, and that also on top of that, Sylvanas is chipping in a bit of damage as well. So, now, as we got the top lane set up, it's one camp for a camp. Blue team is locking in the camp at the bottom of the map. Red team, as you can see here with 4 heroes, is taking the one all the way up at the top. So, on level 1, we also have now the Serpent Sidekick. Same setup as they played the last time. We got the Pursuit of Vengeance over here. And at the bottom of the map, our triple lane is getting met by 3 heroes now that Morenas rotated down with Liming and Skilla joined with Lucio. So they can easily, with the help of Sylvanas, take that one down. We don't have any level 4 yet, but Lauber definitely checked what's happening in that bush, so there's no Admiral Akbar moment. Yeah, still 2 minutes in, and it's party time. I mean, again, now we have half a minute out before the objective gets announced. The teams are soon going to make their move over to the Shaman camp to try and set that up. But anyways, at the top, still a bit of a dance happening as Stork is now starting to jump in. But you gotta be careful. It seems like there's not a lot of damage on the other side, but believe me, there is. Especially with Vala and Maiev, you got some serious chunking going on. Now the level 4 talent for Vala, she needs to try and stack that quickly, as Malfurion dies at the top. Alright, so they didn't go for their camp, but instead they actually got the drop on Rutsu. Dropped Malfurion. There's an early level 4 now for both of them, but the red team hasn't taken their own camp yet, so they're now moving over towards it. Whereas we get the Sudden Vengeance in, and we also got the Surging Winds over here for Lili. Yeah, Stukov, he can take the camp. Same is happening now on the right side of the map, so both of the teams are prepping for the first Immortal. Another couple of seconds are left before that bad boy spawns, and everybody is getting already in position for it. But now that level 4 is in, it means, of course, that we have the taunt. So now you can start to try and make your play. They're starting to burn this down, but again, against Vala's Monster Hunter on level 1, if you're not on point when the Immortal spawns, you're not going to make a move here. So that's nearly a halftime victory for them already. Rutsu, good damage here. And that really shows that even with 3 supports, you gotta be careful or you might lose a target. They dropped a lot of damage on them. Li Ming, especially when she can get a reset, is just terrifying. Then again, getting resets is going to be much harder for them considering the lineup that they go up against here. But here comes Urel, disrupting what she can, and there's a lot of chaos now. Renato is low though, so they gotta be real careful themselves. And Vala is just making sure that she is connecting those arrows and also the multi-shots. And the halftime show has been secured. So there's the lead for the Donuts, and now it seems that they're just gonna go for a race. And the race is gonna be won by the team in blue, very likely. It's a bit closer actually than I thought, but they're still taking it here. Yep, by 1,000 hit points. 1,000 hit point shield, definitely something that you can work with. Up at the top, that's where we now got the Immortal moving to. Sylvanas is the one to move down to the bottom of the map in an attempt to get the experience here. This is always the awkward moment when you have one of your supports holding the lane, and it's actually Stukov at this point. So there's very little that he can do against Sylvanas. She's going to get some value here, but as long as the team at the top is getting more, that's totally fine. And since the bad boy is still hitting like a truck, he can just zone out Sylvanas a bit too, as long as he plays around the vision on the gate. Level 7 talents for both of them. That gives us the repeating arrow for Vala. But we also, of course, have Calamity for Li Ming. Yeah, and they're trying to force the fight here. Past the Immortal. They're going for Lauber. And that's likely the end of Maiev, but Lucio died too. And the fight isn't over by any means, no. Skog is down. Now they're trying to go for Ixia, and that's another kill. The Panda is down. Lily was looking for adventure, and the only thing that she found was death. 4 kills to 1 in total, and they're going for more here. I'm not quite sure why exactly the Donuts are attacking again. They might have thought that there are not enough heroes around to really pose a threat, but boy were they wrong. That's 5 kills to 1, and all of a sudden we're talking about a leading experience for Team Arthas, which also leads, of course, to them taking the camp. Now, the fort has been dropped fairly low. That's definitely something to point out. And they're fighting again. They know that Donato is low. They want the kill. But he goes for the taunt. And they're still. They take the camp. They take the kill. The double kill. They went too far. They went too greedy. The death timers are so low that they're now losing 3 heroes. Damn. First, the Donuts being a bit too aggressive and getting punished for it. And then Team Arthas just did not really calculate this through. The death timer being this low allowed the Donuts to move in. They knew that especially Varian was still low, and they not only took the camp, but they now also took the fort, and they killed a couple of heroes in the process too. So, yeah, it's a back and forth. Blow for blow over here. Kinda nice. Now, we got 4 kills to 5, level 9 for both of the teams, so still fairly close. 16,000 damage for Vala, 10,000 for Maiev. Lauber with a quick pause over here, as they are apparently fixing something. But either way, both of the teams need to try to go to level 10. So we got Li Ming with a 15,000. And honestly, it's really up on Morenas. Morenas is the one that needs to land an entire combo when the taunt or whatever lockdown they're using comes out. Because if he doesn't, then it's going to be a problem. And the issue is that once we're hitting level 10, you got, of course, also a few tools that can still be used to make this even harder. I mean, first of all, we got Stukov, who can create a bit of space. Then on top of that, you also got the cage on Maiev, so there's plenty of tools that can be used to make sure that they can force the fights as well. But with the objective coming up, this is really what we have to check out now. And one of the big concerns is the level for Vala. With the puncturing arrow, when you have that done and you go into the repeating arrow, it's an insane amount of immortal damage that you can dish out together with it. And if you can get another immortal, you can snowball this. And this is exactly what they did the last time that they played this composition on this map. And it comes down to Li Ming again. Once that we're having Calamity coming in, you can make a play. And of course, with a Wailing Arrow on level 10 for Bishops, that's going to be a big one too. If Bishops is able to get a nice silence out, then they might just be able to capitalize on that and get some kills in. And as far as disruptions go, that's really something where we have to watch Stork again, because he's the one that can jump into the backline and then really try to disrupt them as much as possible. Now you got to be a bit cautious against, of course, the lurking arm that we get from Stukov. And also, depending on what Vala is going to choose here on level 10, the damage output. Now, I would expect that she's going to go for Strafe with this. But if you go for Rain of Vengeance, then you can lock them down even harder. So if it's CC what they're looking for, that's the thing. They tried to go for a bit of a trap, but they were a bit too late with the rotation into that position. They already got caught there. So now it's again about experience. And currently the blue team is slightly ahead. They're also going for the camps again. But they need level 10 as well. So that's another one that they can take down now topside. And here we have it. Level 10 for both of them. Lily, no Water Dragon unfortunately. There's the Strafe, the Jugs are in. Tranquility has been dropped to. Wave of Force, Wailing Arrow, and yeah, it's time to party. With level 10 abilities back up on the map, this is the moment where you really want to make some plays. The problem is that Morenas now has to go down to the bottom of the map and help out with this a bit. But they're already fighting up at the top. Vala with the Monster Hunter and the arrow setup. They're trying to come in with a taunt! Ah, and that cage! Yeah, now they're starting straight up with another ult, as we have already a lot used here from the blue team. The Donuts with Tranquility too. But once again, it's Urel that jumps in, trying to interrupt all of this. Skilla is low, gets away, and how is Lauba still alive? Unfucking-leavable. Li Ming is dead, dropped by Vala. She dies too. They're trying to punish Urel for it immediately, but Stalk might just be able to get away here. Gets pushed and goes down. That's how you get a kill. That's how you get a kill with Stukov, ladies and gentlemen. 4 down on the side of Team Arthas, and now they're rotating down here. Lauer wants to kill against Bishops. Yeah, gets good damage in, but it's not enough. But check out that Stukov kill. Yeah, Stukov over here, what a boss. That's how you do that. Bam! Straight into the corner. Now, unfortunately, the live picture was a little bit on top of that. But you all know what happened. So yeah, that was a beautiful kill right there. Either way, now that we got the 8-6, let's see what else we're gonna get. Because now the Immortal is, of course, like up for grabs, and that would be 100% shield that they can get there. This is kind of nuts. But, yep, jump is already coming in. Copenhagen immediately pushing them out. The tether straight into... Oh, beautiful silence, but a second too late to stop Malfurion from dropping his ult. So he has that back out. And Lily can go for the Jugs again. She still has her ult up. 23,000 damage for Sylvanas. Top damage for now, even a bit more than Liming. They're still defending, but they're losing out on this one slowly but steadily. The cage is down. Denado, backline attack. Everybody a bit low, and Lily comes in with the Jugs. Bishops is low, and he's the first one to fall, but the fight isn't over. They're looking for more. Liming, can she get some resets? No, instead Morenas is about to die. Has to go back, and it's just like that triple support on this map is working time and time again for the Donuts. And now that they're moving in, they get the drop on the Immortal, and this one is gonna hurt so much. That's 100% shield that we're talking about now. 100% shield. Ah, boy. Yeah, that's just way too much. Top side, they're gonna push this one out in the hopes to get level 13. But that ain't happening. And down here at the bottom, 9 kills to 6. That Immortal is gonna chunk the fort down within seconds. It's gonna chunk it down hard. So yeah, level 16 is the next one on the list for the Donuts. But even with the level 13 talent lead that they have, they're gonna do quite a bit of work at the bot lane. Yeah, they're gonna get damage done for sure. Right now, we got the 16 stacks on Vala's level 4. So she's getting real close. 18! She's getting real close to completing that, which is going to help them with the Immortal pressure even more. And ults are ready. Jugs and Tranquility. There's so much sustain that they have. They should be able to walk away with a keep here. 19 stacks now. And yeah, this is just crazy. How do you kill these guys? There's so much sustain, and every single level that kicks in right now provides them even more. And the keep is already incredibly low. And they still have the Jugs. And they have Tranquility. So they could force this whenever they wanted to. Now, there is no talent lead anymore, but still. If they can protect Vala, that's all they gotta do. Oh, Sylvanas, Bishops. He's super aggressive here, but he nearly gets punished for it. And instead, it's Lucio that might die. They're all so low. Ults are getting used. They go for the keep, and they're taking it. The keep is down, and now they can just fall back. as long as Team Arthas allows them to fall back, that is. Because right now the fight is still up, and they get the kill on Varian. Varian is down, and oh, the RNG! And Lucio's dead too. Lucio is dead, but they cannot end their game here. 11 kills, 2-6. The arrow connecting with Lucio twice, dropping him. And now they steal the camp away. It's crazy. The Donuts, they lost game number 1. Game number 2, they absolutely slapped their opponent around. And now here on game number 3, they are looking solid. That combo with the triple support on Battlefield of Eternity, they play it for the second time here at the Masters Clash. And it is terrifying. The longer, honestly, the longer the game lasts, the harder it is to drop them. And if you have a hero like Li Ming, who of course wants to get those resets for the extra damage, then you are just left out dry. There's nothing really that he can do at this point. Or at least that's what it feels like, right? Level 16 is now in, it's still a 2-level lead. And now Manticore, which is just such a great talent, is again ready for Vala. And of course, it's not the only thing. On top of that, we're now talking about the blessing of Yulon right here. Even more healing that we're gonna get. And they're coming through with another tether, and the strafe is in as well. Malfurion is a bit low, but even he doesn't die. And instead, it might just be Li Ming who falls first, and indeed she does. Li Ming, Varian, both of them down. Urel just got dropped. Lucio is on the run. And Bishop's, yeah, he's jumping out wave after wave and is able to escape. Oh, no! Not like this! Oh, that's unfortunate. What a teamfight victory again. What a huge teamfight victory. And that final kill, honestly, that was just a work of art. Every little bit of damage that they just got there. And now, of course, they have another massive Immortal they're about to get. There's going to be another 100% on this one. And this time, they are going to likely go for core. Because they already did work at the top lane. That keep is going to be in trouble. The keep is gone. But they want to go for core here. They could push to the bot lane as well, of course. That would guarantee the keep to fall. But yeah, it's kind of nasty. This setup is just dirty, dirty, dirty. Exactly. So, well, there it is. Immortal to the top lane. 58,000 damage on Vala. We got 43,000 of Li Ming, but that doesn't really matter if you don't get those kills that you need. And here we go. They push to the top. Oh, careful. Already, the tether is in. Everybody's clustered up, and that's the perfect opportunity for some damage. If Stukov would have been there with a follow-up, that could have been it. Virulent reaction in that situation might have just ended them. Camp is now pushing through the bottom of the map. And in we go. There's the play. Try to go for the backline again. Morenas is already eating tons of damage here. And they're all low. And Jux plus Tranquility are both still up. Level 16 is missing for Team Arthas. They have the talent disadvantage. But at least they dropped the shield. So that's something. The cage is in. And they're breaking. They're breaking through it. The keep is falling. Keep is gone, 100%. Bottom of the map gets also pushed. Here comes Urel again, as they're trying to stop all of this, but the bot lane catapults are soon going to make it to the core too. So that's the problem. Catapults are soon going to be ready. In comes the play. Urel trying to push that out. The shield is starting to disappear. It's gone. And here's the potential to win game number 3. They drop the core quickly. No chance for Team Arthas. The triple support composition on Battlefield of Eternity is once again successful for the Donuts. Game number 4, all direct pass. The Donuts have taken the lead. It's actually kind of funny. Team Arthas, they went for first pick, first ban, and Rutsu came in and said, like, you know what? Which map we're going to play? We play Tomb of the Garden Curse, aka Garden of Terror. But Garden of Terror isn't a map pool. So, yeah, therefore, he went for all direct pass. And since those are the two maps that he was thinking about, the one thing that really both of them have in common is that they are very big maps. It kind of feels a little bit like they just want to play a big map and maybe play full-on macro style. So we're going to keep an eye out for macro heroes. And I feel that going for Alterac kind of gave it away a little bit. But yeah, both of the maps are pretty big, so Global's very likely going to be played. Which kind of reminds me that this is one of the few series where we have seen very little fall stat. So most of the other games that we've seen since the last patch have included a lot of fall stat plays. And well, now that I mention it, the birdie gets banned. Okay, so an immediate birdie ban. Now there's other stuff that you can do. Even the slugger could be kind of fun here. Didn't they also play like a Samuro comp on this map? Was that them? Was that the Donuts? They had a couple of real nasty combos. I think it was them. I'm pretty sure that like they played a Samuro composition with even Abatha. So that might just be what they're looking for again. Sylvanas is a very, very early pick for Bishops. So it's good for D-push, great if you are looking in the objective. So that's another thing they can do. And, well, what else? There's Horga already. Okay. And, yep. What else are you going to get with that? I mean, most of the time they're looking in an early support here, and given how many supports are being banned out lately, that would probably be a good choice. And there he is, our boy Stukov. Stukov makes it in. And up to the next two picks here. Because I am still expecting that we're seeing something a little bit nasty out of the Donuts. God, I want some donuts or something, honestly. Oh, every single time I cast these guys, it's just like, yeah, give me some of that unhealthy stuff. D.Va and Lucio. Okay. Skiller is in. There we go. And yeah, I mean, they already got a little bit of... I prefer the Sonya on him, but Sonya is banned, and she's pretty much these days guaranteed to either be banned or picked very, very early. But D.Va is, of course, a close second and can create a lot of space and be super annoying. But Nubora gets banned again, so they want to make sure that there's no Cocoon against them. Okay. And on top of that, what's the last ban of the game? Maybe even the series. Could be our last one. I'm mostly interested what Rutsu is going to play. If they would have taken him out... Yeah, I like the Abatha ban. As I said, I think they played Abatha and Samuro once. But the one thing I wanted to point out is if they would have picked Malfurion over Stukov, I could have totally seen Tracer, for example. But not so in this one. It's kind of cool that now that Malfurion is being played a bit more, that we're seeing more Tracer plays too. It's not really super dominant or anything, so you're still kind of happy whenever she gets picked. But it would have been nice to see something like this happen. But the Abatha ban, I kind of like it because I feel there's a good chance that they would have tried to be nasty with him. There's Lauba on Varian, Stukov already, and Zul for the rotations and the wave clear. And Zul is of course great on these 2-lane experience, soak, wave clear missions because he is just slicing them out. And with the last pick, they still need some damage. But then again, Team Arthas with Morenas and Denado, we still need the main tank for them. And, well, on the main tank side, we're gonna get Mei and Ragnaros. A little song of ice and fire that they're playing for us over here. Okay. Yeah, and that leaves us with Rutsu. Oh, what is Rutsu gonna get? And again, range damage is completely missing. And we've seen combos that have focused very heavily on melee damage, which means that you have to commit whenever you're taking a fight. You cannot half-ass it and just like poke from a distance, but I don't think they're gonna go for that. Asmodan! What the fuck? That's one of those moments when I don't know what I should put on the YouTube thumbnail. Morales or Asmodan? I think he has to be the big boy. Asmodan in game number 4. Are you kidding me? Here we go. Finally, we're going to see how you probably stack Asmodan. Oh, let's go. Aldrich Pass, everybody. Let's get ready. This is going to be good. We get Asmodan, everybody. Oh, yeah. Let's go. So, we got on the left side for the Donuts in the lead as we're heading into Aldrich Pass. Skork on Horga, Ixion Stukov, Lauba is playing Varidan, and Rutsu is playing Asmodan. With Copenhagen on Zul. I cannot remember when we saw that bad boy the last time in competitive play on this level. Team Arthas on the right side of the map with Stork on D.Va, Skiller on Lucio, Denados playing Mei with a heat transfer, Bishops on Sylvanas, and Morenas on Ragnaros, everybody. So, let's get this show on the road. It's time for Azmodan straight up with Greed as the level 1 talent. Alrighty. I'm kind of hyped for this, I gotta say. Azmodan was always fun back in the good days, good old days, even before HGC, when you had Azmodan played on Blackheart's Bay on Tomb of the Spider Queen, just trying to go for the late game. That was also always super, super awesome. But yeah, it's kind of fun that we're having him here now too. And of course, they are going to try and stack him. It's all about stacking Azmodan. The early game is kind of important, honestly. You want to get as many stacks in the early game for Azmodan as you possibly can. The reason is actually quite simple. After you hit your level 10, you are normally able to... you're very self-sufficient in the amount of wave clear that you can bring to the table. So as long as you are able to get later on those waves by yourself, then you are in a great spot. And that's pretty much what you're hoping for. So the early stacking is going to be important for that. Zul, by the way, went down. He's a little bit predictable in the sense that they knew from the beginning he would rotate between the mid and the top. Azmodan, on the other hand, was able to get the kill against Ragnaros together with Varian here. So there's that. But he is working on this slowly. Now, if you're alone as Azmodan and nobody is really helping you out, the way that you stack is that you normally auto-attack the back line minions. That's what you're trying to do. Now, of course, your opponent is going to try and interrupt it as much as they can. But here we see a similar play. Azmodan comes in, here's the hit, and the team helps him out. And guys, I cannot stress how important this is. I see this so many times when I cast like Heroes Lounge, the amateur scene, and they pick Azmodan, how they screw this up over and over again. Azmodan, especially on the lower levels, if you play it right, he can have an impact. Is he the best hero to pick? Not really. But if you already decide to play with him, then at least do it right. What you want to do is, you want to make sure that other heroes help Azmodan stack. Now, how exactly does that work? When Azmodan, in this case is aiming for heroes of course, when Azmodan tries to burn a minion wave down, you have to keep other heroes close by. They help to burn the wave after the orb hits, and then you get more stacks together. That's why we have Zul in that last encounter attacking a bit late. He's already sitting at 60 stacks, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Early game stacking is going to help you to progress much better towards the mid and late game, and then you're going to have a huge impact. Here we saw it again. They're waiting it out, they get the globe in, bam, immediately 8 additional stacks. They could have maybe done it even a bit better, but at the end of the day, that's kind of what you're looking for. So if you decide, if you're playing in an amateur setup, if you're playing quick match, if you're playing Storming, I don't really care. With friends, of course, make sure that you get a bit of wave clear in that helps Azmodan to stack in the early game. It will help you in the mid and late game to an enormous amount. Now, Azmodan being Azmodan, that's one thing, but now we also got the kill against Varian again, so it's 3 kills to 2 in favor of the red team. And, well, there is the kill on Hogger. Now, it's always a little bit of a tricky one to pick Aldrich Pass against Team Arthas, because first of all, if you already have the Russian-Ukrainian team play in red, that's never really a good thing. That gives them an additional boost. But if they also play on a winter map, that is even better. The Germans already experienced that it's never a good idea to fight the Russians on their own territory, and that's kind of what the Donuts are experiencing right now too. It's a winter map and they're playing in red. That's a double advantage that you already have on their end that you gotta deal with somehow. So this is gonna be not all that easy. If Azmodan can scale later, then that's gonna be kind of neat, but at least for now, you gotta be careful. Those bad boys, they are strong, and they proved that in game number 1 already. Now, as it stands, we got 84 stacks currently for Azmodan on his level 1. That's already heavily impactful. On top of that, we now got the Master of Destruction in. But even more so, there's the attack against Bishops, and he goes down. Nice! That was a good one. 4 kills to 3, and Azmodan at 92 stacks. And again, this is a work of art at this point. Because, well, work of art in the sense that this is how you stack Azmodan. I mean, I'm overdoing it a little bit, but I gotta say that I'm insanely happy because I've seen this done the wrong way over and over and over again in the amateur scene, where I just want to claw my eyes out and just cry a little bit. So it is, for me, a little bit cathartic to just see that they are stacking this properly and that Rutsu is going to have an enormous impact as the game continues. But that doesn't mean that they're going to win the game, because Azmodan, he's still a bit of a fatty, and that's the reason why it's very easy to body block him, as you can just see. I mean, that model has a huge hitbox, so you can body block him 6 days to Sunday, which we saw live just a few seconds ago, and then you get the damage and you drop him. Not really the fastest, most mobile hero in the game, so you gotta keep him far away from the action, or he's gonna be focused and drop very, very quickly. That bad boy could definitely be going on a diet at some point. But now we got 5 kills to 3, and we got the Dru as we have objective number 1 being fought over. Initially it was the Donuts that took the lead on it, but now it seems that Team Arthas is going to try and fight for it. But Azmodan, yeah, gets a couple of hits together. Level 10 abilities are soon going to be ready for both of them. And it's still 5 kills to 3 in favor of Team Arthas. Now what Rutsu is of course also going to do the entire time, he's going to really focus on his trade to, on a big map, drop that on the other side of the map. That's going to be pretty important. Make sure that there's continuous pressure. Here comes the Sulfuras again. Mind Control is up too. And off we go with the level 10 abilities for the Donuts. And Azmodan is going for the Demonic Invasion. That could be a little bit of a cheesy setup. They're definitely going to try to go for structures with this one. Let's see if they can make that work. And, I mean, technically, they could also help with the boss a little bit. So already some damage done at the bottom, and as I say, there's the boss getting attacked. The problem is, Ragnaros is already checking that one out. But he's a bit late. The rest of the team is already rotating over now that he saw what's happening. But first of all, they're sniffing him out. And second of all, it seems like they're going to get the boss before that happens. Or do they? There's the taunt, the slap, and the boss is taken. Nice! The wall is out, but the kill against May happened on top of it. So not only did they get the boss, but they also were able to kill one of the heroes. And off we go. Big control on the map here from the Donuts. They make the Azmodan setup work. Now, of course, without him going into Blackpool, it's a little bit more difficult to solo stack his level 1 and his baseline. Because, as you can imagine, you are just missing out on some of that damage. He needs to get a lot more stacks together if you just want to do that the way that he currently does. But either way, he has a pretty good impact, and sneaking the boss like this is pretty neat. Now, same time, we got Zul rotating topside, and with 80,000 siege damage, he is just chunking that lane down, 1 minion wave at a time. We have, of course, by now 160 stacks for Azmodan, so yeah, he is getting some serious damage done here. And thanks to the cavalry that they just got in, it also means they have an easy time to go for some of these structures. The bottom fort falls 100% thanks to the boss already softening it up, and everybody else, yeah, is already going for Ixia, and this time he's down. Ixia is dead. This time they finally caught him. Ixia gets eliminated, so does the fort at the bottom of the map, but Zul is very much so left alone. Yeah, he's gonna get the top fort. No problem whatsoever. So Zul is pushing this even further. I mean, Zul is going through the bot lane, to the top lane now, and he's even assisting this to attack the entire wall. And of course, Azmodan is dropping his trade on the top lane too the entire time to enhance that push even further. Now, at least there's a kill in as Team Arthas takes Laubert down, but it doesn't change the fact that they're losing structures all over the place. Rutsu is attacked, and he's getting... Well, hello? Thank you. He's getting dropped too. So is Hogger. It's a triple kill for Team Arthas, but they lost a lot. I mean, they're still losing some of the hit points on the gate down here at the bottom of the map. So it just continues. In addition, we still have Team Arthas now moving in with Sylvana, so they at least can get a bit of damage, get a bit of damage done. Ragnaros is all the way up at the top, but it's a wild game already. 9 kills to 4. But structurally speaking, the Donuts are way ahead right now. I mean, way ahead. And there's 100,000 damage on Siege for Zul, which pretty much shows you everything that you need to know here. He has no hero damage. 6,900? That's not even half of the hero damage that we're seeing from Stukov, for example. But he's able to push the top lane the entire time, or at least until now. So that helped them. That helped them a lot. And, yeah. In the meantime, we got the lead in experience slowly snowballing over to level 5. Nearly 200 stacks by now for Azmodan. And, well, that's going to complete the quest. Oh, the Sulfuras! And Lauber is nearly getting killed. He gets killed. The quest is completed for Stukov. There's a beautiful wall against Stukov. and Varian died. But again, 1 counter kill, 2 counter kills, 3 counter kills. They're getting Sylvanas, Ragnaros, and Mei all eliminated. Boy, 10 kills to 7. And Azmodan could now technically try to go for the boss at the top. Has his demonic evasion not up, but with a bit of help, that shouldn't really be a problem for him. On level 13, he went straight up into Sadea's Kiss. So, yeah, they can burn this one easily. It's a freebie for them. With only 2 heroes on the map for Team Arthas, there's nothing that the red team can do. And they are still losing more and more ground here. Let's not forget that the next objective also is about to get announced again. Or about to be activated. Now, with Hogger and Azmodan, you're just taking this one so easily. And that's a boss pushing top side. The laser build continues over here. D.Va is pushing the bottom out a bit. The Hell Rift is now in. And they're making a play for them. With another big hit from Azmodan here. He's stacking towards his 400. So he's trying to get a little bit more here so that he can work even in the 20, potentially. But the gate, the wall is in. Yeah, they're trying to set that up. Already, D.Va gets a bit isolated, and they could get the kill against Dog. Nice damage, but it's not enough. Lucio saving the day, but Ragnaros and Denado, they're so low, and that's 1 kill. Can they go for Rag? Indeed they can. That's 2 down. And even more damage thanks to Azmodan as she's chipping in a little bit more with another Orb of Annihilation. And of course, that's not the only thing. The boss is still pushing their top lane, starting to damage the keep here. 10 kills to 10. But what a push setup here. Yeah, Azmodan with a wave clear, damage against the structures. Rutsu doing well, 240 stacks for him now. That early stacking, the assists that he got from the rest of the team is really paying off now, as you can see. And he is, from a safe distance, just chunking damage in. He's still the 2nd highest damage dealer on the team with a 39,000. And that's also way more that we're seeing from Team Arthas, who are sitting at 33k for Sylvanas, for example. So, yeah, they're going for another objective. And they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. There's no push coming from Team Arthas. Even though they got the level 16 talent, they're not making a move here. Over here, we got Skog trying to go for another camp. Of course, there's also a boss up that could eventually be taken at the bottom of the map. 100,000 siege damage now also for Azmodan. Not really on the level on Zul, but in addition to the damage output that he has, that is solid. And let's not forget about all the structural damage that Rutsa has been doing up to this point. So, yeah, here we go. Another play as they're trying to force a bit of a fight. Mind control missed. Zul is on the way. And they can get some damage in here. Bishop's already trying to get aggressive with Sylv. And there's the trade. Nice. Sylvanas is dead though. Copenhagen is trying to go for the kills against the backline. Here, Denado and Skilla are both low. Instead, Ragnaros falls after his Molten Core is over. And they're just continuing to push. And now, of course, the Raiders are making it in. Or the Cavalry, I should say. Top side, bot side. The Alliance is on the march. There's the first keep down, and they could end the game here. They're going for the core already. And another one could be lost at the bottom of the map. 2 are down, and Ragnaros is just shelling the shit out of this one. Getting the damage connected time and time again, and this is not looking pretty. Another shield is gonna fall in just a second. They're still stopping by here. Another keep at the bottom of the map might also get destroyed. It would be the 3rd and the last one, and the game is definitely gonna end. The Donuts, ladies and gentlemen, with a 3-1 victory against Team Arthas in the Heroes of the Storm series at the 5th Playday of the Masters Clash. Nicely done, GG. Well played. Great job by the blue team.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.